You're listening to the Water Cooler Edit with Chris and Rich.
Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of the Water Cooler Edit with MyBayut. You're joined by myself, Eman and Richard.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm really good.
Yes, you should be good because on today's episode, what are we talking about?
We're talking about Ramadan.
Yes, so Ramadan in Dubai. So the main topic I think is going to be around the night markets that you can explore in the city and then the iftars that you can try. Just a few of the options that have caught our eye. So starting off with the night market, one of them is actually already running. They've actually transformed a street in Dera that is called the Old Municipality Street. It's an area in Al Ras that they've kind of modernized. They've made more urban. So they have an open souk there, and they have some entertainment. They have kiosks. They have retail outlets, things like that. So you can actually explore. And what's fun is they actually call it Old Bastakia Street. So it's the Bastakia souk.
I'll mention a couple. You've got Ramadan District 2.0.
Yes.
Right. So this is at the Jumeirah Emirates Towers, which is, for those that don't know, the hotel that has pretty fantastic views of the Museum of the Future. So it's on this Ramadan market is on the Plaza Terrace there.
Yes.
They did it last year. It was a big success. It's starting. I can give you some dates actually. It starts on March the 15th and runs through to April the 4th, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. daily. It's got a whole lot of stuff going on, children's workshops, retail stalls, games.
Yeah, they have entertainment and things like that. And one of the best things about this market is that it's open until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot more people are out at night, right? After iftar, for suhoor. So this is one of the options that's actually open later on into the night, which is a great thing. And it's free entry. There's no sort of entry charge.
Free entry, which is not the case for all of So that's a big deal, and it is pretty visually stunning as well, right? So there's that, and there's also over at Expo City, right? So we've got Hi Ramadan.
Yes, which is such a cute name if you think about it. It's like hello. So over there, they're basically having a massive gathering. Again, it's Expo. Everything that they do there is big. They have a lot of collaborations with local vendors. They have a lot of things going on. So they also have workshops and entertainment.
It's a theatrical show.
Yes.
Are you aware of Rashid and Latifa?
Yes.
Right.
They're so cute.
So they are the mascots, the official mascots of Expo, right?
Yes. And they're on a quest to find the moon.
They are indeed, as a kind of a nod towards the kind of true meaning of the holy month, right? So there's a show in English and a show in Arabic each evening, and the market itself. Well, actually, there's quite a few other things I should mention. There's a iftar cannon.
Yes, so the cannon is also something that I think is very quintessential to Ramadan, right? Essentially, once we break for iftar, they actually sound the cannon to let people know in case they are not able to hear the azan, which is the call to prayer. And it's actually really interesting because I grew up in Dera.
Yeah.
Right? And I used to live right next to the Eid Masala, which is basically the sort of Eid prayer hall. It's specifically used for a lot of big gatherings, right? Like Eid prayer. And every single day, they would actually fire the cannon from there. So they've actually moved the cannon to Expo now. So I would hear it when I was growing up, when I was living there.
Was it like
every single day?
Mary Poppins. Did you know the film Mary Poppins, where the guy's got the cannon on top of his house and he shoots the cannon off every morning, and they all have to hold stuff in their house because it's going to fall, because the whole house shakes?
No.
Was that your house?
No, it wasn't, because it was just across the road, but you could hear it.
Yeah.
And when I was a child, I would actually get scared because it's a loud noise, right?
There's
but
a few locations, isn't there, of cannons throughout Dubai. We actually have an article
on MyBayut.
Yeah, we do indeed.
For that.
Yeah.
So that for me is always really nostalgic. So it's always a great experience, I think, to see all of the little intricacies that make up all of these traditions and add to the culture of Ramadan. So if that's something that you're interested in experiencing, I think definitely do take a look at the market at Expo.
Yeah, I agree. There's some other things. There's loads of stuff for kids there, right? So you've got a monster inflatable park.
Yes.
The monster's actually alive and eats the children. No, it doesn't.
That's a different holiday.
So they've got a monster inflatable park where kids can bounce around till their heart's
Yes.
content. I think you have to pay extra for entry
Yes.
into that. I think it might be 95 dirhams. There's Arcade Avenue by Magic Planet, which sounds pretty cool to me because I love an arcade game. Again, children's workshops, stalls, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So prices, 20 dirhams entry, unless you're booked for an iftar or suhoor.
At one of the restaurants at Expo.
Yeah,
okay, fine, that
exactly,
makes
in
sense. And
which
they have a
case you
lot
get
of
free entry.
and they have a lot of vendors. So whatever you're interested in, be it a buffet or a set menu or any kind of cuisine, they have so many options over
Yeah,
there.
totally, and
Yeah.
for different budgets as
Yes,
well,
and
right?
for different budgets as well. And for this, the timings I believe are from 5 p.m. to midnight.
So as we said, because obviously
Yes.
that was one of the notable things about Ramadan 2.0,
Yes.
District 2.0, it's open till 2 o'clock, this one 12 o'clock.
This
right?
one's still 12.
But they do make a real effort over at Expo now with the
Yes.
things they have, and I think its popularity is on the rise.
Yes, and not just that, I think what they've done is they've taken a lot of the iconic bits of Expo and they've repurposed it for so many different events and for so many different purposes, right?
Yeah.
For anything that they've done, they've taken like the Wasl Plaza, they've taken the waterfall, they've taken that botanical lift thing that was
Oh,
there.
the garden in the
garden
sky.
in the sky. Yes,
Yes,
thank
yeah,
you,
yeah,
Richard.
yeah,
Yeah, did you see the difference between what I said and what
I like
Richard
your
said?
one, that mechanical lift thing with plants on it or whatever.
Yeah, it completely slipped my mind. But yes, the garden in the sky and
That's
things
what they
like
should have
that.
called it.
No, I think the name they chose is much nicer.
Yeah, the garden in the sky. Yeah.
Yes,
I
garden
haven't
in the
actually been up on that. I've seen it in action, but I haven't been up on it.
Neither have I.
No, but maybe when we head over there for High Ramadan, we
Yes.
can
Yeah, we can
utilise
check it
garden
out.
in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So iftars.
Yes.
Anyone who's been to Expo City will most probably, let's be honest, have seen the water feature
Yes.
because it was one of the real crowd favourites and the standouts. So I love the name of this iftar. It's called the Surreal Iftar, right? Because I just like the whole surreal thing. As if you're going to go in there and like the food's going to start disappearing and stuff like that, and then it's magically going to come back again. Or whatever. Just the whole surreal thing. That's not what happens, thankfully. Basically, this iftar is in the middle of the water feature.
Okay,
Right?
fine.
As walls of water plummet from 4 stories high, guests are invited to explore a wide range of live cooking stations and sample a tempting fusion of traditional dishes and reimagined favourites, lovingly crafted by a lineup of celebrity guest chefs. I thought it was a great bit of writing there, and I think they put all the lights on the water feature, and the water feature is great, right? So it's a pretty unique place to have iftar, and apparently get really good views of sunset as well. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but because maybe the start of the sunset, but not all of it.
Yeah,
but yeah.
maybe. Or maybe they've angled the tables in such a way where you can get more.
Yeah, there is gaps, isn't there, in
Yes.
it? It's not all encompassing. So, but I thought that one sounded really cool.
Okay, that's
you know?
very interesting. What is it priced at, Richard?
So, children from 6 to 12 years old in 95 dirhams. And from 13 years plus, basically,
Adults.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is 200 dirhams.
Okay, interesting.
You
I
know?
think the iftar that I'm going to share is slightly more budget friendly. The reason why I want to share it is because I think the concept is really interesting. So the row of hotels, which are located all across Dubai,
Yep.
each of those
Including
hotels...
Expo.
Yes, including Expo. That's true. They all have that all-day dining continental restaurant called The Daily, right? And they'll be running an iftar buffet. And, whenever you do go for these at Ramadan specifically, I feel like buffets are a very common sort of option, right? A lot of people are fasting. They want to have a variety of food. And so this one, what they've done is they've launched it with a more sustainable mindset. They've said that if you make sure that you don't waste any food, or if there aren't any leftovers, what happens is that you actually get a voucher to come back and enjoy another iftar at the property. And I was like, wow, that's so nice, and it's priced very affordably as well. It's priced at $80.99. So if
Wow.
you combine that with it being affordable and with also being sustainability and environmentally conscious, I think that's a great sort of initiative that they've put forward, because that's really what Ramadan is about, right? It's about giving, it's about caring, it's about just being, I think, more mindful, being more connected, about all of these sort of things that impact your life, right?
The concept of that iftar really does feed into
the concept of Ramadan as well.
Yeah, it does. And also, as well, we're still in, 2020, the UAE themes of the year. Yes. 2023 was a year of sustainability, but it was recently announced that 2024, they're continuing that theme. So also, so the year of sustainability is sustained for 2 years. But it feeds into that as well. Right?
Yeah, so, it does.
I like that. And the Rove hotels are quite good with these kind of things and these initiatives. Yes, they do really seem to care. So it's nice.
So it's nice. Yeah. And like, for me, I think there are iftars all over the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the country.
Certainly plenty of choice.
Yes, there's plenty of choice. And every sort of, I think, restaurant, cafe, everything kind of transforms, right? They have Ramadan specials, they have set menus, they have buffets, they have specific dishes, all of that sort of stuff. So really, you are spoiled for choice. But this one kind of stood out to me because it has an interesting concept behind it as well.
Completely and utterly agree. I think that's a great shout. Yeah. Great shout. Shall I do my second shout?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, so I did make this a quick one. It's the address Grand Creek Harbour. This hotel is really is nice, right? Yes. It's basically situated, as the name would suggest, on the creek.
Yeah.
But this iftar is in the Luma Pool Lounge. So essentially, you get a view of the creek, and then you get the kind of downtown cityscape behind with the sun setting. So view-wise, a pretty special place to have iftar. This is a relatively new hotel, but it's got to be less than 2 years old, I think.
And it's located slightly outside of the city, more on the outskirts. So even from a traffic or crowd perspective, it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's a really good shout,
and it's a gorgeous setting as well. Yeah.
So some details on that. The iftar is from sunset to 9 p.m. And it's priced at 275 dirhams.
Okay,
so obviously we're at the other end of the scale from the budget friendly, but you know.
It's a different experience, right? Yeah.
Could be.
All right. That's interesting. So I think before we wrap up,
I've got a fun
and
fact
mention
now.
Yes, we're gonna have your fun fact end this episode. I believe, Richard, correct me if I'm wrong, there are multiple articles on things to do in Ramadan, do's and don'ts of Ramadan, places that are open, which is practically everywhere now. Any sort of specific iftars that you're looking forward to, also priced by budget.
Yep, absolutely.
And priced by neighborhood as well. So, you have those kind of options. What else can we find on MyBayut? I know there are the prayer timings listed there as well.
Yes, the prayer timings are there. I mean, essentially, every aspect you can possibly imagine of Ramadan and Eid as well, upcoming, including like some of the holiday packages available, the offers for
the sales, all of that sort of stuff.
Pretty much any aspect of Ramadan you are looking to find out about, we have an accompanying article.
Okay, nice. So I guess if you have any questions or if you just want more information, make sure to head to Bayut.com/MyBayut and find out everything you need to know about Ramadan. But before we wrap up, Richard.
Yes, just a little story, right? Obviously, I've lived in Dubai, 11, 12 years. Yeah. I've seen Ramadan change a little bit in that time, obviously with the core values behind it being the same as they should be. But this was just one thing, right? And it's not a particularly romantic location, right? So we were in Buffalo Wild Wings, right? On the beach road. This is a couple of years back. And a family came in. There was two daughters and the mother. And I'm not sure on nationality, that's really not important anyway, right? So, and they were sitting there and we were all waiting for iftar, right? And they, on the screens around, and if you've been to Buffalo Wild Wings, the one thing they've got enough of is screens, right? Yeah. Where they put the Ramadan cannons, right? So it was the build up. So that was the first time I'd actually seen that ceremony, right? So it was that, and I thought it was the sweetest thing. when the cannon went off, this family were in front of us, and the mum took out a little, almost like little container thing.
Yes, with
and
dates.
and gave a date to either daughter, and then obviously one for herself, and they broke their fast, and it was just quite a nice thing to see. For me, not being, you know, from coming from the UK, things are a bit different. It was just really nice to kind of see, and they were very happy, obviously, because it was, you know, and then we all chowed down. I mean, but the chicken was ordered and stuff. I just thought it was really nice to see a family like that, you know.
So there's a lot of togetherness at Ramadan as well, right? People like spending a lot of time at home. People like spending a lot of time outside together. There are a lot more meetups. It's just a time of, I would say, togetherness.
Have you got a moon earring on?
Yes, today I have crescent-shaped earrings for
Yeah,
this episode.
yeah, it's fantastic.
Yes.
Good stuff. I think it was worth pointing that out, actually, because it's nice attention to detail there.
Yes, the little moons, because again, the sort of affinity with the moon is very closely tied to a lot of aspects of Ramadan as well, right? It's again based off the lunar calendar. There's I think a lot of intricacies within
The moon and the stars, all the decorations, for want of a better word, that you see around
all
town.
crescent shaped, all star shaped,
Stunning.
lanterns.
Absolutely stunning. You know.
So I think it's just that sort of vibe. That's what it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of community spirit as well. There's a lot of giving as well. There's a lot of charity. You know, it's just really nice to see the city just come together.
Totally agree.
And
It's a
be
really
so
nice
alive.
place, a really nice time to be here.
Yeah. So even if, say, you are not Muslim or you are not fasting, you can still really feel the effects of that.
100%.
And I know so many people that have lived here for so many years. And even if they haven't, they've tried fasting. They've tried to see what it feels like, you know, to actually take part in Ramadan. If not, then, you know, there are small other ways in which they have partaken in the culture,
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
traditions, and in the festivities. So I think that's always really nice to see.
One of the things they do on the community I live on, they do the fridge thing.
Yes,
You know, the fridge thing.
the shared
Ramadan
fridges.
Fridges, and you go and put stuff in for the workers, etc.,
Yes.
or whatever. So even little things like that. I mean, I don't do the fasting. I almost do the fasting because I don't really eat much during the day anyway, if at all. But it's the water and the tea that predominantly. It's the English breakfast tea that I couldn't do without. I'm very sorry. But
So that's the thing. Maybe next year, or maybe this year, Richard, you might try fasting just one day.
yeah,
Just to
absolutely.
see,
I'd say yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll give it a go for a day.
Exactly. And then you can know what the rest of the 30 days are like for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting off easily with my one day, aren't I? But yeah. No, look, it's a really nice, even as an expat, a special time to be here. You can feel the difference around the city. And so good stuff.
And that wraps up our episode this week on everything you need to know about Ramadan. Places that you should look out for, places that you should try, all of the markets that you can visit. And like I said earlier, if you want any more information on any of this, just head to Bayut.com/MyBayut and take a look at everything you need to know about Ramadan.
You're listening to the Water Cooler Edit with Chris and Rich.